Spoke to gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams earlier here. She talked a little bit about what it meant to be in this parade and participate. Take a listen to what she had to say.
I'm so excited to be here. This is Georgia. We are an inclusive state, and we need a governor who has the pride to walk with pride, who's willing to defend the LGBTQ community, and not a governor who promises that he will not defend marriage equality. I intend to be an ally to everyone in Georgia, and I show up.
Strong words there, very strong words there. Of course, Senator Raphael Warnock and Senator Jon Ossoff were out here in the parade as well. Some more music, some more action coming down. It's about to get real loud, but I'll tell you what, I got two more people that are enjoying this just as much as I am. Tori Cooper, Rob Hughes, right now on the Atlanta News First Float. I'm gonna send it over to them. Tori, Rob, how y'all doing out there?